What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. This is, of course, your Lucha Underground review for June 7th, 2017. We have the continuation of Johnny Mundo and the Mack. After their great match last week, all night long, it went to a draw. Dario Cueto, this week, one fall to a finish. There will be a winner, and we will crown, once and for all, a rightful owner for the Lucha Underground Championship, man. I can't wait to talk about this. They went 52 minutes last week. I was wondering what they were going to do this week. It ended up being another great match between Johnny Mundo and the Mack. And if they didn't go all night long, we were going to get two other matches tonight. I didn't expect it to go all night long again, but we were going to get a Trios Championship title defense, and we had Mil Muertes versus Prince Puma in a Boyle Heights street fight. So it was a loaded show again this week, and I got to throw it out there, man. If you're not watching Lucha Underground, you're missing out on probably what is the best hour of wrestling all week. I'm telling you this right now. And this is coming from somebody who started with Season 3. I started with Season 3. I'm working my way backwards, but I'm loving what they're doing now. On this show, we also had a huge announcement, something that I am totally excited for, from Dario Cueto. We'll talk about that as well. A loaded show. Lucha Underground, ever since they restarted Season 3 with the second half, they've pretty much come out all guns blazing, man. And you got to appreciate the effort. You got to appreciate the excitement. And like I said, man, I'm a big WWE guy. I love what NXT is doing. I love those takeover shows. But right now, if you're looking at a weekly wrestling show that has everything, Lucha Underground is doing everything, man. It's my favorite hour of the week, no question. Before we get into the review, guys, I want to make a quick note here for you. The IRWNetwork is now live. I made a video about this. I'll link you in the annotation that you see in the video. IRWNetwork is live. Off the Script Retro is live. It's my take on Off the Script expanded, but we're going to do retro reviews. We're starting with the 1992 Royal Rumble. There was a little bit of I would say, an issue with my Patreons. Everybody on the Patreon side didn't want to shell out more money to listen to the IRWNetwork podcast because it was behind another paywall. And you guys feel like you should be getting that stuff just regardless because you are a Patreon. So what I did, and I'm going to make mention of this on Off the Script this weekend. What I did is, you guys can sign up for the IRWNetwork. You guys can sign up, because I'm not the only thing on there. You can sign up and do whatever you want to do over there. But for everybody that's pledged to me, $3 or more a month. So it's in a price tier on Patreon right now. If you are pledging $3 or more on Patreon, you guys are going to get Off the Script Retro. I made that decision because I don't want to make anybody unhappy. If you guys don't want anything to do with the IRWNetwork, it's not fair that you can't listen to it. So I'm putting it over there as well. So it's going to be on both. So that's what I decided to do. So if you guys are on the Patreon page, you guys are getting Off the Script Retro. If you guys want to be a part of the Patreon page and listen to a 2-hour podcast that I uploaded exclusively for IRWNetwork and now which is going to be on Patreon.com, you guys can certainly sign up and pledge. Patreon.com/JDFromNY206. Go over there. I'm telling you, man, you're going to enjoy this, and you're going to be a proud member of the Patreon team. Believe me. Not only that, you guys get exclusive rights to my Discord chat. I was in there for about an hour and a half last night. We had a good time talking about everything WWE. And if you guys want to sign up for the Patreon page, you're going to get early access to Off the Script every single weekend, man. So you got a lot of stuff that you guys are going to be compensated for, man. So sign up now. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. It is the best way to support this channel and this podcast during the dark times that is the YouTube ad-pocalypse. So thank you guys so very much. Another great way to do that is through Audible. Audible is offering everybody 30 days free to try their service out with one free audiobook of your choice. No matter what, man. Go through the sign-up process, fill in all the appropriate information, and you guys choose your audiobook. If you guys don't want to stay on and you want to cancel it, you get to keep your audiobook for free. A lot of wrestling content on there to choose from. If not wrestling, there's over 180,000 choices to choose from. Compatible with both iPhone and Android devices. Absolutely fantastic way to support this podcast. Use our unique link, audibletrial.com/offthescript, man. Great way to support the channel. and you're doing something good for yourself and something for the podcast, man. audibletrial.com/offthescript. And if you guys want your t-shirts, as always, we are partnered with Pro Wrestling Tees and Barbershop Window. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. $19.99. They ship worldwide. Fantastic quality. 9 different designs to choose from. So make sure you guys support through Barbershop Window as well. And you know what? You're going to look good doing it. So thank you guys so much. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206 and hit that subscribe button down below with the bell for the notification so you guys know when you are going to get an upload from yours truly. Let's talk about some Lucha, man. Show started off with Prince Puma in the bathroom. He was looking at himself. He was fixing himself in the mirror. Rey Mysterio comes from behind and tries to talk some sense into Prince Puma. He's worried that Vampiro is using Puma for his own agenda. Prince Puma then replies, like you and Conan, right? Puma says Rey isn't his friend and leaves as Vampiro appears in the mirror. But when Rey looks back, Rey sees nobody there. And then Rey gets all of a sudden angry and punches the mirror in the bathroom in which he's seen the reflection of Vampiro. Now, with this storyline here, Puma strayed from his good path and now wants to see, I guess, the dark side. He rejected his former friend and mentor, Rey Mysterio, here. I'll talk about Rey Mysterio in a little bit towards the end of this review because he does play a big part in what happened in the Mundo Mack match. You know, Mysterio is the epitome of good. You know, he is one of the good guys. You know, Vampiro is not the epitome of good at all. So Puma is pretty much channeling his dark side after he was buried in a Grave Consequences match by Mil Muertes. And he's going to use that to not only get one up on Mil Muertes and get his revenge on Mil Muertes, but Prince Puma is actually going to be playing a vital part in Season 3, which I will talk about in a second, and I'm pretty sure he's going to use that darkness to once again be crowned the Lucha Underground champion. Rey Mysterio, you know, he and Lucha Underground are a perfect mix. I can't wait to see what's going on with him and Matanza. I'm sure that's not squared away yet. I'll talk about that in a second as well. Matanza and Rey Mysterio, I am sure, are going to cross paths very, very soon. And it's going to be a big deal because what's on the line is going to be very, very huge for Lucha Underground. We have Johnny Mundo and the Mack. This is something that I was looking forward to ever since last week. Dario Cueto says that there are no ties, which means tonight is sudden death. One fall to a finish. And he makes this match falls count anywhere. So instead of it being sudden death, one fall to a finish, he's ending the nice little stipulation of falls count anywhere. Last week they went 52 minutes. This week they went about another 10 minutes. So these guys in total in the last 2 weeks have gone over an hour. And I want to mention this right now, man. I mentioned this last week. Johnny Mundo is an absolute fucking superstar. You know, and I'm not taking anything away from the Mack. These two have absolutely brilliant chemistry in the ring together. You look at the Mack, and he is the epitome, or the epitome of what everyone dislikes about a professional wrestler. They might take his look as a negative. They might take him as being a big guy who looks sloppy, and you know, you take a look at him without actually seeing what this guy can do, and you kind of write him off, you know, right away, you know, without actually giving him a chance. But I'll tell you what, man, the Mack is absolutely phenomenal for a man his size. He might be, to me, the best big man in wrestling right now. And I'm not kidding you. I mean, if a guy that size can be that athletic and do fucking standing moonsaults and be fucking quick as a cat and do fucking suicidas and just do what this guy does in one fluid motion without any fucking hesitation, this guy is fucking great at what he does. You mix that with Johnny Mundo, who's capable of doing all that plus some, you got a great fucking dynamic here, man. These guys have a great fucking chemistry. And I loved every minute of what they did last week, and I loved every minute of what they did here. There were some big spots here, man. They picked up right out of the gate from last week. It ended in a draw last week. They said, fuck this shit, man. Let's do it again. Right at it. As soon as that bell rung, Falls Count Anywhere was announced, these guys went at it. Took to the floor right away. There was a huge moment on the outside where the Mack just spread steel chairs out all across the floor. He slammed Johnny Mundo onto the pile of steel chairs. Brutal shit, okay? It didn't take long for the Falls Count Anywhere stipulation to play into Johnny Mundo's plan. We had a lot of interference here. We had Ricky Mandel, who is a Johnny Mundo fanboy, dressed up as Johnny Mundo, everything from the hair to the glasses to the beard to the outfit, man. This guy is the epitome of a fucking Johnny Mundo cosplay. He comes and he allows Johnny Mundo to hit a dive from the crowd, which looked absolutely fucking ridiculous. Again, Johnny Mundo's amazing at what he does, man. So Mundo tells Mandel to get a trash can. Mandel gets a trash can. Sexy Star, right out of the gate, seen this bullshit happening before her very eyes. She comes in and takes care of Mandel. Sexy Star there to even the odds and help the Mack win the Lucha Underground Championship. She thought. So Mandel was taken out. She chases him to the back. Mundo starts to beat up on Mack again with that trash can. Mack then slaps the fucking shit out of Johnny Mundo and slams him onto the trash can. Big scoop slam onto the trash can. Quick cover, 2 count only. Mack then brings out a table. So now we're getting trash cans. We're getting tables. All right, what's going to happen now? Mack brings out a table. PJ Black is underneath the fucking ring. Mack is going for the table underneath the ring, and he took a step back. It's like he got bitten by something underneath the ring. He couldn't grab the table. He was like looking at his hands. He was being attacked by something underneath the ring. I didn't know what the hell was going on. PJ Black was underneath the ring with a kendo stick, and I swear to fucking God, man, PJ Black crawls out from underneath the ring and nails Mack with a kendo stick shot. I swear to God, I didn't think this guy was going to get up from. Absolutely devastating fucking kendo shot. How the Mack even competed after that, I have no fucking idea. How he wasn't busted open, I don't know, man, but unbelievable fucking kendo stick shit. You gotta watch it to understand what I'm talking about, man. So PJ Black sets up the table. He starts fighting the Mack on the apron. Mack gets up, and Mack hits a stunner on PJ Black on the apron. And remember that table that was set up? Because Mack stunned PJ Black on the apron, the force from the stunner landed PJ Black and his momentum to fall through the table on the outside. He was taken out of the match. Mundo then back in the ring with the Mack, hits a disaster kick, 2 count. Mundo follows with a Shining Wizard running knee strike. He tried to hit the End of the World, his finishing move, but after that, the Mack got his knees up and thwarted that finishing move. I thought the Mack had another chance here. He had another wind. So he gets up, and a sit-out powerbomb followed that fucking nearly leveled Mundo. That could have been it. Mundo kicks out. Mack then goes to the apron. He grabs Mundo for a superplex. In comes Taya, who I believe is Johnny Mundo's girlfriend. In comes Taya. She grabs Mundo from the clutches of Mack. So Mundo's in the ring to end this match. Remember those steel chairs that were on the outside that were just piled up in a fucking big pile? Johnny Mundo flips over the Mack for a sunset flip powerbomb onto the pile of steel chairs that completely fucking devastated the Mack. It was over. 1, 2, 3. Johnny Mundo retains the Lucha Underground Championship, man, in a great 10-minute street fight. Falls count anywhere. He pins him on the outside. Unbelievable fucking 2 weeks with these guys, man. Johnny Mundo is fucking fantastic. How WWE doesn't pry this guy away from Lucha Underground when his contract is up would be a fucking massive mistake. He is a superstar in every sense of the word. He's got the look. He's got the heel persona. He's got the moveset. Guy could fucking give us 5-star classics with AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura if this guy was allowed to do what he does here in Lucha Underground and WWE, man. Unbelievable shit. You know, he plays a heel on Lucha Underground, but they try to get you to hate him. How can you fucking hate him when he's doing all the shit that he's doing, and you just appreciate the raw talent that he is, man. I can't hate Johnny Mundo. I can't hate anything the guy's doing. He's fucking fantastic, you know? But the chemistry between Mack and Mundo, I hope that this is not the last time we see these guys in the ring, man. Absolutely great. They didn't waste any time. They went 10 minutes here after going 52 minutes last week. Great, great stuff by Johnny Mundo on the Mack. Johnny Mundo retains the Lucha Underground Championship. After this match, it was an announcement that shook Lucha Underground for Season 3. Dario Cueto came to the ring after this match was over, and he made a huge announcement that something is going to revolutionize Lucha Underground. A concept that is going to revolutionize not only Lucha Underground, but the industry of professional wrestling. He went over concepts like Dario's Dial of Doom. Lucha Underground is predictable and violent. You know, we have Ultima Lucha 3 coming up, which is going to be innovative. And due to Ultima Lucha 3 coming up at the end of the season, the Cueto Cup is now something that is going to be battled over for the remainder of Season 3. He had the trophy, walked down to the ring. The beautiful Melissa Santos, actually the gorgeous Melissa Santos, walks to the ring. She gets in the ring, and Dario Cueto steals the trophy from her, and he says, "Get out of my ring. There's only room for one beautiful thing in the ring." Bro, I'd rather have Melissa Santos in the ring than the Cueto Cup. Please. Do not kid yourself, Mr. Cueto. I love you, but don't make goon-like comments like that ever again, man. A 32-man tournament, the Cueto Cup. A 32-man tournament starting next week, and the winner of this tournament, and you guys know I love tournaments, man. The winner of this tournament will earn a title match at Ultima Lucha 3. Mundo will defend the Lucha Underground Championship the same night of the finals. And he wanted to give the title shot to Matanza, his brother. But he says Matanza embarrassed the family. Rey Mysterio embarrassed Matanza. So his way of thinking is, well, why don't we give Rey Mysterio the title shot? So instead of giving it to Matanza, I'm assuming Matanza's going to have to fight his way through the tournament. And that's where they might be going. You know, this battle for, you know, I guess supremacy in Lucha Underground, that's one of the things I was looking forward to most in the second half of Season 3. Matanza and Rey Mysterio. You know, I'm going with Rey Mysterio to beat Johnny Mundo for the title. I think that's what's going to happen. I think Matanza's going to win the Cueto Cup. I think we're going to see Matanza versus Rey Mysterio for the Lucha Underground Championship. That's my prediction as of right now. That is my prediction as of right now. But Rey Mysterio is getting his title shot against Johnny Mundo the night of the finals. So we're going to see the finals of the Cueto Cup, and then we're going to see Mundo versus Mysterio. And that is the remainder of Season 3 right there, man. The Cueto Cup, 32-man tournament, going to be fucking huge for Lucha Underground, man. I can't wait for Ultima Lucha 3. This will be my first. I have not seen the other two. Johnny versus Rey is going to happen. I can't wait to see the dynamic that those guys have, especially with the Lucha Underground Championship being on the line. I'm not sure if it ever happened in WWE. If somebody's watching, please refresh my memory if it did. Cueto's awesome. I love Dario Cueto and his intensity. And I love that he brings a violent nature, a no bullshit nature to Lucha Underground. Something that I wish every general manager had on fucking Monday Night Raw, but we don't. I wish Dario Cueto was in charge of all of WWE television, but we cannot be that lucky. But I can't wait for the Cueto Cup, man. Moving on, man. I am not a big fan of whatever is going on here with Drago and the Trios Championships. I'm not really interested in any of this. We had Cobra Moon and Drago towards the latter half of Season 3, Part 1, the first half. Cobra Moon kidnapped Drago. They've been forcing Drago to come back to their tribe, to their side. So we had a Lucha Underground Trios Championship match here. And the entire match was pretty much a setup for Drago to turn on Phoenix and Aerostar, which eventually did happen. Drago was teaming with Phoenix and Aerostar through all of this match against Pindar, Vibora, and what's the other guy's name? I don't know what's his name. Let me see what this other guy's name is. It's so tough for me to learn these guys' names. It was Vibora, Pindar, and Cobra Moon, which was on one team, and then we had Phoenix, Aerostar, and Drago. Drago left his team mid-match. He left his team mid-match. He left Phoenix and Aerostar to join the other team. Cobra Moon wasn't even a part of the match. It was all a ploy. So we had Cobra Moon excuse herself from the match. We had Drago go to the other corner and had the enemy team tag him in, and he did a huge big splash onto Aerostar, and we had Cobra Moon pretty much steal the Trios Championships from Aerostar and Phoenix. That was it. That was it. That was the main storyline here. It was all a setup. Drago finally turned to the dark side. He was a prisoner against his own will. You know, Cobra Moon was trying to get him to join. He eventually joined. He's there now, and they brought the Trio Championships with them. You know, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if he's brainwashed. You know, he was so defiant, you know, in the first part of Season 3. He was so defiant, I will never join the tribe. Now, all of a sudden, this week, he turns on Phoenix and Aerostar and brings the Trio Championships to Cobra Moon. I don't know if he's brainwashed. I don't know what's going on. But it doesn't look good for Phoenix and Aerostar. I don't know how they're going to counter this now. Time will tell. But it's not really a storyline that I'm fully invested in here yet. Phoenix is fucking great. Aerostar is great. I love the chemistry that those guys have in the ring with anybody, man. They're just so fluid and smooth. You know, but again, not really interested in what's going on here with Drago. One of these storylines that is on the lower end for me. I'm more interested in what's going on with Mundo and Matanza and Mil Muertes and Prince Puma. Things like that. Mysterio. So we'll see what happens with this. I'll keep you guys updated, obviously. Trios champions, new crown Trios champions on Lucha Underground. Drago turns to the dark side. Johnny Mundo is in the locker room with Ricky Mandel. He asked Ricky where the champagne was because he was in a celebratory mood after he beat Mack. Taya comes in and says, listen, there's some bad news. You know, Dario Cueto announced the Cueto Cup and that you will be defending the title against Rey Mysterio. Johnny looked very scared. You know, he looked very worried. He told Taya, you know, Ray is no joke. You know, I got to go back to the dojo and train even harder for this. He was in a towel. He just got out of the shower. And Taya was a bit concerned about Rey Mysterio as well. He was about to go to the dojo with no pants, and Taya is like, you at least going to put some pants on? And Johnny Mundo comically added, there's no time for pants, and walked out. And that was the end. Johnny Mundo is actually worried about facing Rey Mysterio. He wasn't worried about facing the Mack, but all of a sudden he's worried about facing Rey Mysterio. I found that to be a little intriguing. I don't know why he's worried about Rey if he's got the Worldwide Underground with him. I don't know. I mean, they pretty much had the numbers game with the Mack, so why can't they do the same with Rey Mysterio? I don't know. So we'll see what happens. It should be a fantastic match, so can't wait to see what happens. In the main event, street fight. Boyle Heights street fight. Prince Puma versus Mil Muertes, and this was every sense of the term street fight, man. This was a fun match. This was a very, very fun match. Mil Muertes made his entrance with the beautiful Katrina. Prince Puma didn't even make his entrance. He just came from the back somewhere and just mysteriously appeared. Remember, this is the dark Prince Puma. This is the Vampiro-controlled Prince Puma. So they start right away. This was, like I said, every sense of the word street fight, man. There was battling in the crowd. Puma was thrown into the fucking wooden chairs. He, you know, all the people in the front row at ringside, the first 3 rows to be exact, got up. Mil Muertes launched Prince Puma into the wooden chairs, and I can imagine that hurting very badly. There was a beautiful spot where Puma set up a table propped up against the floor and the barricade. I don't know what he was planning on doing, but Mil Muertes thwarted that quickly and speared the fuck out of Prince Puma right into the table. Beautiful spot there. They battled into the crowd. They went up and down the temple steps, up and down around. There was one point where Puma was beating the shit out of Mil Muertes with somebody's shoe. You know, he threw Mil Muertes into what looked like a heater or a boiler in the rafters of the temple. They fought all the way around, back down to the ring. They went into Dario Cueto's office. Cueto was there caressing the fucking caressing the Cueto Cup. He was shining it and waxing it and all that shit. So he told them to get out of the office. He was so confused as to why they went into the fucking office, you know? But listen, it's a street fight. Anywhere is legal, bro. There was signs and trash cans, and it was just all over the fucking place, man. So we get Puma going underneath the ring to get a wrench. He hits Muertes with a wrench. Muertes is battling back. Katrina interferes in this match. Now, before she interferes in this match, we get a 630 by Puma. Okay? A 630. That's his finishing move. And the camera angle for this 630 was one of them fucking above cameras where it was above Puma, and you seen him do the 630, man. Absolutely fucking fantastic shot. You got to give it to Lucha Underground, man, for their camera work. That was a beautiful fucking spot. It looked absolutely gorgeous. So he nailed the 630. Katrina comes into the ring, and that stone of power that she has, that she carries, that I'm sure emits power to Mil Muertes, she takes the stone, gets in the ring, nails Puma over the head with it, knocks him senseless, right? So Vampiro sees this on the outside. He hands Puma a brick. Mil Muertes is in the ring, so he thought he was going to get the advantage now that Katrina got the shot in on Puma. Vampiro hands Puma a brick, takes the brick, nails it over the head of Mil Muertes. It shatters all over the fucking place. Mil Muertes is knocked out. 1, 2, 3. And that's the way Prince Puma beat Mil Muertes in 12 minutes. Very good match. Intense crowd. It was all over the fucking place. It was very direct and straight to the point. It lived up to the terminology street fight for sure. These two work very well together, as you guys know if you've been watching Lucha Underground. But I'm very interested to see how Prince Puma comes out of this whole Vampiro storyline. Is it going to be enough for him to win the Cueto Cup? Because they did announce that Puma is in the Cueto Cup. Mil Muertes is in the Cueto Cup. So it's going to be interesting to see if Puma can channel this evil dark side and win the Lucha Underground Championship, or at least get a shot at the Lucha Underground Championship again. All I know is after this, this feud between Mil Muertes and Prince Puma is not over. I'm sure they'll meet again in the Cueto Cup. My money is on it. But again, very, very good street fight here between Puma and Mil Muertes. And again, it was just a fun match, man. Great show. Very, very good show. Like I said, it's the best hour of television for wrestling. The last 2 weeks especially. But right now, with the shows that we've gotten so far, with the announcement of the Cueto Cup, the announcement of Mundo versus Mysterio, we haven't seen Matanza yet. There's a lot of storylines that are going to be coming up. Lucha Underground is just fucking firing on all cylinders, man. This is a very, very good hour, and I hope you guys are watching. If you guys are not watching, find some way to watch it. Find some way to watch it, man. You're missing out on the best hour of television for the week when it comes to professional wrestling. So there's a lot to look forward to. I'll be back next week, guys. Hope you enjoyed the Lucha Underground review. If you did, hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you thought of last night's show, and I'll be back with Off the Script this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, man. Thank you guys so much. Hit that thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206, and hit that subscribe button down below with the bell for your notification, man. I am JD. Have a great Thursday, and maybe I'll be back later with something, man. I don't know yet. I always say it, but you know, there really isn't much news going around. But if there is, I'll be back later. If not, you'll see me tomorrow morning on Off the Script, guys. All right? Take care. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you all for Off the Script. Talk to you later.